Can CAR T-cell therapy give mesothelioma patients a new lease on life? Are mesothelioma patients about to benefit from a groundbreaking and new therapy that is already revolutionizing cancer treatment? That is what we're going to be exploring in the next few minutes. Hey, I'm Deborah from survivingmesothelioma.com. And for almost 20 years now, we have been helping mesothelioma patients with the latest in mesothelioma treatment information. In today's video, we're going to explore 3 exciting ways in which CAR T-cell therapy might improve the lives of mesothelioma patients. But first things first, what is CAR T-cell therapy and how can it help people with mesothelioma? CAR T-cell therapy is a type of treatment that uses a patient's own immune cells modified to target and attack cancer cells. And after carefully analyzing 2 studies from the Journal of Clinical Oncology, it looks like CAR T-cell therapy could potentially shrink mesothelioma tumors and extend patient survival. I'm going to leave a link to all of the studies in the description for you. But how exactly can CAR T-cell therapy help mesothelioma patients? So let's take a closer look at the 3 ways that this therapy may help. Number 1, targeting mesothelin on cancer cells. So a study published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology in 2019 looked at how mesothelioma patients responded to a special type of CAR T-cell therapy. These CAR T-cells were designed to target something called mesothelin. Now, mesothelin is like a sign that is found in large numbers on mesothelioma cells, but not so much on healthy cells. What the researchers discovered is pretty exciting. So these engineered T cells, which are part of your immune system, could recognize and attack cancer cells that have this mesothelin sign. It's as if we've gained a group of soldiers, T cells, to spot and attack only the enemy, cancer cells, by looking for their unique uniform, mesothelin. This is a big deal because it means the therapy can focus on destroying cancer cells while leaving mostly your healthy cells alone. Imagine if you could take an antibiotic that only killed bad bacteria and left all of the good bacteria in your gut alone. That's kind of what this therapy is trying to do, but for cancer. To put it another way, it's like giving your immune system a pair of special glasses, right? Before, your immune system couldn't really tell the difference between cancer cells and normal cells. But with these special glasses, the CAR T cells, it can now spot the cancer cells that were hiding in plain sight. Okay, number 2, overcoming tumor defenses. Okay, now let's talk about the second study, published in 2022. This one looked at a slightly different version of CAR T-cell therapy. They combined the CAR T-cells with something called PD-1 blocking agents. To understand why this is important, we need to know that cancer cells are sneaky. They have ways to hide from your immune system, almost like they're wearing like an invisibility cloak. One way they do this is by using a protein called PD-L1, which basically tells your immune cells, don't touch me, I'm one of the good guys. The PD-1 blocking agents in this study stopped the cancer cells from being able to hide. So now, not only do we have our specially trained soldiers, CAR T cells, who can spot the enemy, but we've also stripped away the enemy's camouflage. Think of it like a video game. Before, you were trying to find an enemy you couldn't see, cancer, who had an impenetrable shield, PD-L1. Now, you can see the enemy clearly, and their shield doesn't work anymore. You can see how this double-pronged approach might be more effective, right? Okay, number 3, Inducing tumor regression. Now, for the really good news, both of these studies showed that CAR T-cell therapies could actually make tumors shrink in some patients. In the 2019 study, some patients had what's called a complete metabolic response. Okay, this means that in scans, doctors couldn't see any active cancer anymore. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the cancer is completely gone, but it's a very good sign. Other patients had partial responses, which means their tumors shrank significantly. The 2022 study also had really good news. Some patients had stable disease, which means their cancer stopped growing. Now, this might not sound as exciting as shrinking, but for an aggressive cancer like mesothelioma, even stopping it from growing is a big win. And some patients did see their tumors get smaller. This is really important because it means the therapy isn't just attacking cancer cells. It's actually making a visible difference. It's kind of like the difference between swatting at mosquitoes, killing some cancer cells, and actually seeing the swarm get smaller, shrinking the tumor. These are early studies, and not every patient saw these results, but for a cancer that has been so difficult to treat, seeing tumors shrink or even disappear in some patients is really encouraging. It gives us hope that with more research, doctors might be able to help even more patients in the future. What I found truly amazing was that in the 2019 study, the median overall survival from CAR T-cell infusion was 23.9 months. That is nearly 2 years of extended life for patients with a notoriously difficult to treat cancer. I mean, that is pretty incredible, right? But what about the side effects and the risks of CAR T-cell therapy? The studies we looked at didn't find severe side effects in most patients. But one thing they did find is that CAR T-cell therapy can cause cytokine release syndrome. Okay, cytokine release syndrome means the body has an intense immune response that can cause fever and inflammation. So, careful monitoring might be needed to manage these potential side effects. It's important to note that while these early results are promising, larger clinical trials are still needed to fully understand the long-term safety and effectiveness of this therapy for mesothelioma patients. Another thing you should take note of is that these studies were phase 1 clinical trials on a small number of patients. Remember, that means that they're primarily testing for safety and only giving us early hints about effectiveness. That doesn't mean the information isn't valuable. It just means that larger, more comprehensive studies would be needed to confirm these results. There can be a big difference between small early trials and large-scale implementation in the real world. So, to recap, here's what we know. That CAR T-cell therapy helped target mesothelioma-expressing cancer cells, overcame some tumor defenses, and led to tumor shrinkage in some patients. But will it work for all mesothelioma patients? Unfortunately, we don't know yet. In my opinion, it's just frustrating to know that we don't have more large-scale studies, specifically on mesothelioma patients. This is a cancer that desperately needs new treatment options, and these early results are so promising. So what does that mean for you if you have mesothelioma? If I were in your shoes, I definitely bring up CAR T-cell therapy with my oncologist. Maybe this therapy could be used as part of a comprehensive treatment plan. Maybe it could improve your quality of life, but surely it's worth speaking to your doctor about. In my opinion, the research on CAR T-cell therapy for mesothelioma is exciting enough that you should at least have a conversation with your healthcare provider about whether it might be an option for you, either now or in the future. And if you're looking for more valuable mesothelioma information, please visit survivingmesothelioma.com to see how Paul became the longest living mesothelioma survivor in the world. That's all I have for you today. I hope this information helps you in your journey with mesothelioma. And remember, stay informed, stay hopeful, and I'll see you next time.